Thank you to our panel for being here. It's certainly a privilege to be in the same room as the three of you. We've done a lot of talking today about the number of ships and how this fiscal year 25 budget takes us down to 287, decommissioning ships prior to their expected service life, decommissioning more than we're commissioning, slowing the aircraft carrier build, having the submarine build. So I'm just worried about that message that's sending to our allies. We've got this great AUKUS agreement in place. We're excited about it. Also to our shipbuilding partners. We talked today about the number of ship repair, and I've got them in my district in Virginia too, that message that sends to them. They can't keep their people. I know continuing resolutions is part of it. It's frustrating to me too. And I know the defense budget is always inadequate, but what are we doing or what can we do to be more reassuring to partners like allies like Australia or people we need in the fight like our ship repair and shipbuilding industry?
Thank you, Congresswoman. I think the biggest thing we can do is actually reaffirm the commitment just in this FIDP alone that we're investing $18 billion in the submarine industrial base to actually try to increase the production rates to where they need to be so that we can actually build more submarines well into the future.
Along those same lines, just talking about messaging and getting our message to our partners like allies and ship-prepared shipbuilders. For the recruitment retention side, I know we've talked about that today too, and I had the privilege of sitting on the Recruitment Retention Quality of Life Task Force. I hope you all have copies of the bound book that we put together. And my ask yesterday to the Secretary of Defense was just to get that word out to the American public. I need them to know that Congress hears them, that we've emphasized things like pay and compensation, housing, child care, health care, spouse employment. I need that message to get to them. So through that's a PR campaign and kudos to the buildsubmarines.com. I've had multiple people in my district come up to me and say, hey, we've reached out to, we saw the ad. So I think those things work. So let's get that message out to the American people that we heard them and we're taking care of our military men and women.
9,000 new applications just this past year, ma'am.
Awesome.
And retention is as high as it's ever been in the Navy and the Marine Corps, thanks to your investments in quality of life, quality of service.
We need to keep down that track. I want to switch gears to naval aviation, subject near and dear to my heart as a former Navy pilot, but I look at programs like the A-12, like the F-22, and we can ask a lot of questions about if we should have done some things differently. I'm looking at the F-35 right now, and yesterday we talked a lot about that expense and how it continues to grow. We have quite a few that are still sitting on flight lines. They're not, we don't have pilots in cockpits yet. I want to put in my plug for Naval Air Station Oceana in my district, and I know, Secretary, we've had discussions too about considering them East Coast Master Jet Base so that we can house the F-35s. I know the city of Virginia Beach is very welcoming to the idea, and I look forward to pursuing further discussions about that. Along those same lines, though, thinking of naval aviation training, and again, my son is now in Corpus Christi, very proud of him, started the pipeline, but the wait for those students is too long. We've invested in them from Cessna training. They're sitting, they're waiting for starting primary, but now we're looking at the T-45s. I know we had recent compressor stall issues. This is the second time that we are now halting, training in the T-45. So I need the Navy to have some foresight and to think about what that replacement aircraft looks like for advanced jet training, because this isn't our first go-around with this. We have options out there. So I want to hear from you all. What is the timeline for replacing that T-45?
So, ma'am, as you know, we're actually several years from replacing the T-45, but we're accelerating the necessary work to actually try to move that to the left so that we can actually get the next generation of trainers out there and have it be reliable.
It can't happen fast enough, because when those guys are delayed, then I got the Hornet Rag at Oceana delayed, and I got fleet pilots that are then being held up. So as much as we can expedite that. And then I also just wanted to close with a story. I had the privilege of traveling to Israel about 3 weeks ago, meeting with military intelligence officers, dining with just everyday Israelis and families. And listening to them thank me as the representative from Hampton Roads, thanking me and all of us for sending our aircraft carriers, the Ford, the Eisenhower, the Baton, over to sit off the coast of Israel in our quick response after October 7th. They truly believe, each and every Israeli I spoke to, that because of our aircraft carrier presence, that is why Hezbollah did not invade Israel from the north. I had Israeli families dining with their children, skipping around the room, saying, I want to go on the aircraft carrier, I want to go on the aircraft carrier. So I was the representative that received phone calls when we extended those deployments, when they missed Christmas with their families, when they missed the birth of their first child. But because of those servicemen and women, because of our U.S. Navy, we maintain some stability and some peace in that region. I've shared that story with the ship repair shipbuilders, with Navy leadership, but please take that story back to your men and women. We know it's a sacrifice, but we appreciate their sacrifice, and that's what keeps the peace in the world. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you,
I yield back.